Hey Dramax, welcome back to my channel. So I had a totally different video planned for this week, but this vertical drama pushed that one out the way and was like, nah, me first. Yes, I'm doing a So What Happened Was on a vertical drama, but I have to. Amongst the quagmire of recycled plots, questionable acting choices, and music insertions, I still find some diamonds. My thoughts on vertical dramas is a whole other video, but let me say this. I appreciate the experimentation and story plots they do bring that's singular, and that you don't find in mainstream dramas that can be formulaic in their own right and detriment. With that being said, this one I have to discuss because it's the third anticipated drama by the CP that just dropped last week. I've watched their first vertical together and it's probably their best out of the three. The second one I never got to finish before it got wiped from the internet, but luckily I got to this one before it gets taken down, if it ever does, and I want to discuss it with some spoilers too. So what happened was, Good Rain Knows the Season is a 2026 vertical drama starring Go Yoon-shin as Shui, a woman confronting Sung Jae, played by Wang Ha-jun. She comes out of the gate swinging, telling him that his wife has slept with her husband on multiple occasions and that she has proof. The story mostly focuses on Shui as she rethinks about the 2-year marriage she's been in, especially since her husband refused to touch her or engage with her period. Sung Jae, due to a poisoning incident, is now deaf and is considered defective, not to mention dull, in his wife's eyes. She also hasn't allowed him to touch her in their arranged marriage, seeking that affection outside of it. Now we have two strangers united by a familiar pain that finds suitability, synchronization, and solace with each other as they come to embrace the freedom of what being in love truly is. The story did a great job in detailing two lives set adrift by the blatant actions of their spouses and have them analyze what their relationships have meant. Shui, upon reflection, realizes that her husband never said that he liked her, let alone loved her. Their initial blind date ended in them getting married mere months later with the promise of children to fill their home. But even in the moments of her initiating intimate moments with him, he turns her down, telling them that they should wait on starting a family. She also weighs in her mind about staying in her loveless marriage since her mother had a hard time raising her by herself, working hard in the wheat fields to give her daughter the best she could. Shui had married into a family with money, so that's one less thing her mother has to worry about, that her daughter wouldn't struggle like she did. Sung Jae is an upstanding professor of research since he had to redirect his passion post-poisoning. Even with him initially appearing aloof, reserved, and a stiff shirt when he first meets Shui, we eventually do see how observant and attentive he can be, far better than her own husband is. Within the parameters of their first meeting, Shui's phone loses power before she can pay for the tea they shared, but he takes care of that and also provides her with a power bank to recharge her phone. Also, before he left, he imparts advice to her about really analyzing what this betrayal from her husband could mean and to prepare for the best outcome for herself if she chooses to stay in her marriage or not. There's this one big scene I have to discuss, and that's the business dinner that both couples have together. Neither couple are aware that they would be there, and Sung Jae comes in late with his wife. The cheating wife and husband are disrespectfully texting each other at the table while our leads sit together in their own quietness. But they soon notice that neither one of them are sporting their wedding rings now. It signals to both of them where they are on their exit plan. Shui excuses herself, finding out later that Aunt Flo has made an appearance. Sung Jae steps out and insists on taking her to a local market he knows to pick up sanitary pads, but also sees that Aunt Flo has made an appearance through her clothes. So he has his assistant go and get her this beautiful replacement dress, and then they step into another dining room with a private bathroom for her to change into. But nope, the cheating spouses come into that very room and proceed to go at it against the door of the bathroom they're now locked in. This scene is so wonderfully done. Both of them are suffering, teary-eyed as they hear their insignificant others tearing each other up against the door. But Sung Jae covers her ears to protect her while she takes off his hearing piece to sit in this painful silence together while acknowledging its beauty, especially with them not going through this alone. Beautifully poignant scene that also signals a lot of their similarities. I also love this because this reminded me so much of Chu Kuk-hwan from Before We Get Married and his attentiveness towards Jo Weiwei, that he immediately clocked Weiwei's needs as a stranger more than her boyfriend of 3 years ever did. Speaking of which, here's a part of my gripe with the drama. Although it's aptly named, it really should be called Serendipity You're Doing Too Much. I'm a sucker for fate dramas when they don't bash you over the head with it. I get that they're meant. I get it. The amount of parallels between them and mentioning how much in sync they are makes you eye roll a bit for how often it's utilized. It's already enough that their partners were riding each other, and their infidelity would be the gravity pull between the two of them as they bereave marriages that weren't even whole marriages to begin with. But here's a few common things that happen. They both have mint plants, care for tabby stray cats. He attended a seminar at the hotel she butlers at. The same time she's confronting her husband and mother-in-law about the divorce, he was doing the exact same thing across the hall with his in-laws and wife. His divorce appointment was right after hers, and they got married to their spouses on the same day. Again, we get it. They're fated to be together. If they had eliminated a lot of these showings of fated awareness or recalls the scenes we just saw 5 minutes ago, this drama would be 30 minutes plus shorter. I have to draw the comparisons to Before We Get Married again because that drama also used fated meanings, but you also get these more heavily in the first 2 episodes. Then it comes into their own will of how their relationship went, good, bad, or indifferent. That's what Good Rain knows the season should have done. Sometimes less is more. The kudos I do have to bring up is the lack of typical scheming second female lead or familial strifes or issues. What pushbacks are given is when all the separations are going down, but after the dust settles, everyone lives with what was dealt in the aftermath. And I definitely have to say that the aftermath does give off you reap what you sow. One thing I never have to gripe about is this pairing. In their first drama together, the national husband, right out the gate, their love scene within the first 5 minutes will have you panting. The chemistry between them here is no exception. When their characters finally kiss and do the deed, I immediately felt the flutter in my stomach, and that's when their mouths were just hovering, him aching to kiss her. And I love that the show of them entwining fingers was a symbolism of them sealing the deal, like they were going to do this. Wang Haojun and Go Yoon-shin are generally great kissers in their other dramas, but together they bring it. In most of their intimate scenes together, I just see Wang Haojun devouring Go Yoon-shin's lips like he's starving, but his character has been starving. They hadn't slept with their spouses, so this is a freedom that they've been craving, especially to be at liberty to explore this freedom with each other. The love scenes are so good, it almost feels like you're intruding, but can't help but continue to watch. Like it's a natural, everyday thing that the audience has a window to. One scene even alludes to her being so vocal she went hoarse. I clutched my imaginary pearls. But my first love will be that initial intimate scene. The very one where she's losing her shoes while going up the stairs, or him putting her arm around his neck, or putting his damp hand on hers as he propels her closer to the bed, her kissing the ear that he usually wears his hearing device on. Chef's kiss, one of the hottest scenes I've seen, and I love the minute details of every reverent action between the two of them. Speaking of love scenes, I love the boundary respects, especially from him. There's a lot of coupling dynamics with them. We as an audience already know that they will be a thing, but they don't do anything or cross any boundaries until they have their divorce finalizations in their hands. He doesn't even really touch her unless he has to, like brushes, hand or lip hovering. I even noticed that when she handed him the mint leaf or the handkerchief, their fingers never touched. It's reserving these touches for the ultimate moment when they're ready to throw caution to the wind. The later half could be contrived as being slower than the first. One reviewer that I followed for Verticals found her sway boring and didn't like her character choices in a few spots, especially if the gender was swapped. It wouldn't be received the same. That I get, and on some level I totally agree, but upon speculation I consider the choices she made as a human response, especially as a woman. Now it's not that she thought that she was to blame for her marriage failing. Oh no, her husband tried that mess, calling her boring and never coming to him when she was in need, and she rightly shut him up about it. You know when someone is messaging you and when you turn them down they start calling you names, yet they wanted to get with you literally seconds before? It gives that same energy. But she just left her marriage a month and some change ago. The only guilt she felt was not being able to maintain the facade of her marriage to cause her mother less worry. And they get together in the heat of the moment very quickly, even if the viewer saw it as an inevitability. And you know how some people lose their inhibitions when they're away from home, doing stuff they would never do? Throw in a couple of glasses of lychee wine, a spontaneous run in the rain, and boom, you're losing your shoes and headscarf on the stairs on your way to get your back blown out. A perfect storm, a fantasy. Too much to be real until you sit with it in stone cold sobriety and reality. Are you being rational or are you going into this too fast? How would it also look that you hooked up with the ex-husband of the wife your ex-husband cheated on you with? Sure, Sway Joy had this telling thought while they were in the midst of this love scene, stopping him to tell him that she was divorced. This was her concern, and how a lot of women bear the mark of being a divorcee over men. That's the whole sin on them. What's so comforting is that she's with a man who simply said right back, "I'm divorced too." Like he's saying, "What of it? I'm no different than you, and all I want is to be with you in this moment and all the moments afterwards." But it kind of confirms for me a little of how she was feeling, and she tells her friend this much. But still, I do agree that some message should have been relayed to Sandra J on where she was mentally at. But this drama shows that it wouldn't have mattered either way because that man was so sprung on her before he touched her. Her needing what she needed, he understood it completely and was willing to wait. And he turned into such a puppy dog. He was so cute with his pouting and longing, and his metamorphosis was fascinating to watch as he goes from a seemingly impenetrable and cool man to this person who releases his inhibitions and to finally live for himself and what he wants. He shows resilience and concern while renewed with the anticipation of wanting to know more of her and loving her. His type of love is the one you wish would find you for sure. This drama is from the producer Hongguo. I rate this one 4.6 rainy seasons out of 5, but on a vertical scale. I know that you might side-eye me like the Grammys did regarding Asian music, but in comparison to their mainstream brethren, everything isn't quite on equal footing. But I might be creating an end-of-year list on the vertical dramas that have for sure impressed me this year with its strides in storytelling. This drama had a female director, screenwriter, and producer, and learning that, it definitely shows with its attention to detail on what was deliberately shot and focused on, and this is the same director that worked with him on their first drama, Unsure the Second. Good Rain knows the season is almost 4 hours long. I woke up in the middle of the night, so decided to binge most of it when I learned it was released. Do I have any regrets? No. Is it worth your time? It is if you know what you're getting into. There's not a lot of action scenes except for their action scenes, but the chemistry alone is worth the watch. But if this one doesn't do it for you, check out their original collaboration together with The National Husband. I think, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it might have been based on a novel or a web novel or something along those lines, and majority of the people do enjoy it. That's the end of my review. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please like and subscribe. Stay a while. Let me know if you've watched this drama or verticals in general. Love to get your thoughts on it. I've let you know mine, but hey, it's just a thought.